Hi and welcome to Know Your Rights. My name is Chris Fisher and this video is in a series on divorce in association with Curry Law Group. Today we're going to focus right in on men and what men need to know. And from Curry Law Group we have Louis Lazaro. How are you, Louis?
Doing great. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for being here. All right, let's get right to it. I've always heard that men cannot be treated fairly once they get in front of a judge. Is that true here in the state of Florida?
No, it is not. It's unconstitutional. Men and women have rights to due process, and they should be treated equally and fairly by the courts of law, and that is a requirement by law. Both parties equally treated. Now, you may have some men that have the opinion that they weren't treated fairly, and you could probably have the other side too saying the same thing, and judges tend to say, if both sides did not like what I did, I treated them fairly.
All right, well, what about kids? Because a lot of guys feel like they don't have a shot at child custody.
Well, they would be wrong because the Florida statutes say that both parties should be treated equally when considering a time-sharing plan. And so time-sharing plans are designed with the best interests of children in mind. The children are first, as they should be, and as long as it's in their best interest, that's the type of parenting plan that will be put together. And there are many factors involved in that, 20 of them in the statute to be precise. And so the court will consider that if the parties aren't able to come to an agreement on a parenting plan.
All right, now after filing for the divorce and you're going through the process, is it a good idea for me to move out? You know, should I be the bigger guy and say, listen, this is where this is all heading. I'll go ahead and leave the house during this so that tension is not there? Or is it best to keep the family together for as long as you can?
Well, that's interesting that you asked that, Chris. Some men believe that moving out of the house is necessary because they're the man and they should do that right thing. But children need their fathers just as much as they need their mothers. And so that may not be the right thing. What I would advise people to do is to first meet with an attorney just to consult with them to find out what their legal rights, and also to consider perhaps seeing a family therapist that can provide some type of guidance on whether or not you should be moving out, or how we can restructure the house and the dynamics inside the house so that you can stay within the house and the kids can see you and be comforted by knowing that both parents are still around.
Is it advisable to date before the divorce is final? So this is after it was filed, before it's final, in that little window there, is it advisable to date?
Well, nothing illegal about it. Don't want to do it in front of your children because that might be a no-no. And you don't want to use marital assets to pay for the extramarital affair. There's nothing illegal about it, but common sense, you probably might want to wait until you file your petition, which is what you mentioned, or after the divorce order is entered. What you don't want to do, obviously, is to try to hide assets, like transfer funds over to the girlfriend's account. That is not a good idea, and the judge will go after those assets and come and bring them back into the marriage.
So what you're saying is it's okay to date, just don't buy her nice things until after the divorce is final.
Yes, try conversation, poetry, but yeah, don't spend money on that relationship.
Sorry, until this divorce is final, it's just coffee for you and me. All right, so what about protecting my business?
Well, businesses, just run them like they normally run if there's nobody taking monies away or nobody's trying to destroy the business. But if something is happening to the business and it might become unprofitable, you definitely want to sit down with an attorney. You may need a court order to protect the business. But otherwise than that, just run the business as you normally would. Don't try to hide assets because a court will go after you for them. Just do things as you normally would and let the process happen.
Not that this next question applies to everybody, but it's just one of those that has to be asked. And that is being unfaithful, cheating. How does that play out in this process when it comes to alimony, custody, child support? Does it play in at all?
Well, in terms of alimony, not going to have much of an impact unless, again, you did one of those things where you're using marital funds to maintain the affair. The children, most of the times the judges understand parents are going to divorce and they're going to date again. So that's just common fact of life kind of thing. But It might be advisable not to do it in front of the kids and to keep it, away from them and not discuss that with them at all. Even if you know that your, wife is cheating on you, don't talk it with the kids. Why do they have to know about that? They don't. And it's not good for them to know either. Talk to an attorney, talk to a counselor, but don't bring it up in front of the kids. That's the main rule.
And lastly, Louis, when it comes to the divorce papers, she doesn't want to sign. It's been months and she just keeps going, I'll do it next week. I'll do it after this. What do you do at that point?
What you do at that point is you accept the fact that she does not want to sign, and then you go either talk to a lawyer or you file the divorce, either or, but best thing would be go to an attorney, file the divorce, get her served. If she doesn't file a response, you'll default her. If she files a response, you go through the process and you'll get your divorce. She doesn't necessarily have to sign the papers.
All right, and if they need that consultation, if they need some help, how do they contact you at Curry Law Group?
They can call us at our main phone at 813-653-2500. That's 813-653-2500.
Louis Lazaro, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
And thank you for being a part of Know Your Rights.